it's Michelle and welcome back to the Royal Daily Tea. So you guys would not believe how many people in America actually have no idea that a royal coronation is happening next weekend. I was talking to a workmate and he's like, "Oh, there's a coronation? What's that? That sounds like fun." I'm like, "It's history. It's the first one in 70 years. So a lot of people in America have no clue what's going on with the royal family. I guess I just assume people know what's going on with the royals because I've been a royal fanatic since 1981, but I forget that I'm an American and a lot of people don't follow the royals. So I'm thinking about doing a coronation series on my other channel, just something about the history of coronations. So if you think I should do it, let me know in the comments down below. But you guys, I'm getting super excited for the coronation. I can't believe it's this weekend. Now, I have been doing a little bit of coronation trivia for you guys to get you in the spirit for the coronation on my community page. But I thought for this video, it would be fun for me to include another coronation trivia question, and I'll let you know the answer at the end of the video. So the question is, which monarch wore white at his coronation? It was said to be unlucky. The first choice, Stephen, Henry VI, Charles I, or Harold II. Remember, he was unlucky. So I will let you know the answer at the end of the video. But you guys, we have a lot of juicy royalty to get through today, so you know what to do. Sit back and relax, grab yourself a beverage, and let's get into the Royal Daily Tea. So a lot of people have been speculating, will she or won't she? Will the Princess of Wales wear a tiara for King Charles's coronation? Now there's word that she could possibly wear a floral headpiece for King Charles's coronation. Now Kate could be planning on ignoring the tradition of wearing her most spectacular tiara in favor of a more natural look at Westminster Abbey on Saturday. The move may disappoint traditionalists who will be hoping to see the royal family and guests looking their best for the occasion. I 100% agree. If there's ever a moment to wear a tiara, it's a royal coronation, especially since we have not had a coronation in 70 years. This is not the time to be sustainable. This is not the time to be conservative. We want to see the pomp and the circumstance. Bring out the diamonds, bring out the tiaras, bring out the golden coach, the trumpets. I want to see it all. This is glitz and glamour. It's like the Oscars on steroids. I want to see royalty around the world parading around in tiaras, in their finest gowns, with the sashes, like they're going to a state dinner. When you looked at pictures of the royal family at state dinners, they're always decked out in their best, in their royal regalia, in their diamonds, in their tiaras, and their royal sashes. That is what a coronation is about. So now we're just going to see Sunday dress and no tiaras. I'm sorry. I'm really disappointed, y'all. I am so disappointed. If she shows up with a ring of flowers, I'm sure she's going to look beautiful because the woman could wear a paper sack. But this is not the time for flowers. It is the time for tiara. You're a princess, a future queen. Please dress like one. Just one day. Just give us one moment to see a tiara. Please. I know there's a lot of people who are angry over everything, but I don't care. This is the moment for royalty. It's a coronation, okay? Catherine, wear the flowers at the concert. Put on a beautiful flower thing and a little garden dress for the concert, but for the coronation, for the love of God, bring out a tiara. So there was a story that came out that King Charles had given Angela Kelly, the Queen's beloved former dresser, the boot out of her grace and favor home. Now, technically, yes, she has moved out of her former residence since she is no longer employed by the palace. However, King Charles has quietly purchased a brand new home for her in Yorkshire. He is definitely honoring his late mother's wishes. Now, it is no secret that Angela Kelly was not well liked. A lot of people feared her because she had a lot of influence over the Queen. Even King Charles and some of the major royals reportedly didn't care for her and felt that she had too much influence. The Queen even considered her, quote, her sister. That is how close the two ladies were. But the 65-year-old dressmaker was asked to leave her cottage on the Windsor estate within months of the Queen's death, which seems very logical. But now she has a brand new home in Berkshire. But a lot of people called her AK-47. A lot of people didn't like her, and we all know infamously Meghan and Harry had a run-in with Angela Kelly during the tiara gate, where she refused to let Meghan borrow the tiara so she could practice her hair with her hairdresser before the wedding. It is said that a lot of people just felt that she was a negative force around the Queen, and so King Charles did the right thing and he gave her a home. Now, a lot of people believe he just didn't want her on the Windsor estate. He wanted to get rid of her because he didn't like the woman. I mean, we can't blame him. If you don't like someone and they're no longer working, why would they live on the property? But I do find it very interesting that she now has a brand new forever home. So the 65-year-old is going to enjoy this new phase of her life. So another story has broken about, the house that King Charles gifted to Angela Kelly. Remember, she moved out of her grace and favor home and he bought her the home in Berkshire, a little further away from him because, let's be honest, he didn't want her as a neighbor. But now some people are thinking maybe the king bought her the house so he could get her to not write her royal memoir. Now, a lot of people may or may not be aware that Angela Kelly, talk about being a fly on the wall. This was a woman who quarantined with Her Majesty the Queen after Philip passed away. She was alone, so Angela Kelly was asked to move in. She was the right-hand person of Her Majesty for the past 20 years. So the Queen publicly never shared her thoughts, opinions. You never knew what the woman was thinking, but Angela Kelly knew. If anyone knows the tea, it is this woman, okay? This woman knew exactly how the Queen felt about Meghan, the wedding, naming their daughter Lilibet, Megxit, the whole enchilada. The Oprah Winfrey interview. Wouldn't you just love to be a fly on the wall with these two women, okay? Angela Kelly's got the tea. She's got the tea from the Queen. And the royal family, they didn't like her because she had some influence with the Queen, apparently. So now some people believe that King Charles is trying to play nicey nice, like get the hell out of Windsor. But here's a house. Don't you like this house, Angela? Don't you just want to retire and not write any books? So some people believe he's trying to sweeten the pot and to get her to not write books. Her Majesty the Queen gave Angela Kelly permission to write memoirs after she passed. Because the Queen was like, girl, do what you got to do. I don't care. All right? Say what you got to say. I'm going to get you a house. And when I'm gone with Philip, honey, you do what you got to do. I don't care anymore. I'm done. That's right. The Queen gave her permission to write a book. And that would be very smart of this woman because it would be an immediate bestseller. Now, of course, Angela has to play nice, but since she's no longer employed with the royal family, nor does she live in a grace or favor home, how free is she really going to be in this upcoming memoir? It's been rumored that she's been writing this book. Woman's been saving her diaries, okay? So they're saying that King Charles is trying to make her not write the book by giving her a house. You got to admit that's a really good plan, right? I'm sure Meghan and Harry don't want her to write a book. I'm sure she's got quite a few stories to drop about Megxie and Howie. So we're going to talk about the 7 News Spotlight documentary on the Markles, the world exclusive interview that they sat down and gave on Sunday. Now, I know a lot of people were saying it was a nothing burger, there were no brand new revelations, but in my opinion, that wasn't the point of the interview. My opinion is the point of the interview is to show people that the Markles are real people, they're a family, and that Meghan Markle was raised in a healthy, happy home with a father and with siblings that she has pretty much buried, that she has pretty much iced out of her life, and people have vilified them for the past 5 years. Samantha Markle has MS. She is in a wheelchair. She is wheelchair bound, and this woman has received so much trolling and hate and death threats. She was vilified not only by the press, but by Meghan Markle herself. So in my opinion, no matter what you think about her, I don't believe she deserves the amount of hate she has received. And then you have Thomas Markle Jr., her half-brother. Again, he has received a lot of hate. And then, of course, there's Thomas Markle Sr., her dad, who literally raised her to be a princess, who did everything for her. She was a self-professed daddy's girl. And if you look at some of the footage that you see, you saw Meghan actually gave him a face and kind of rolled her eyes at him. She had a snotty attitude as a young girl. She was spoiled. That's what you call spoiled. She was the homecoming queen, but yet she tells everyone, I'm the ugly duckling. I was unpopular. I was the smart one, y'all. But then he shows footage of her being the homecoming queen, how she started drama plays in high school, and how he, as a professional lighting director, helped her have award-winning high school sets for her plays. I mean, how many people's parents volunteered at their schools of their free time and would have professional lighting so you would look like a star for a high school production? She was a girl who was raised in a loving family and decided after she met her prince that she no longer needed her family. So in my opinion, this was just them having their say, having their peace. And I know a lot of people were like, Samantha Markle was angry and she's jealous. She didn't appear angry or jealous to me. She seems frustrated. Then we have Thomas Markle Sr., who is a broken man, a heartbroken man who loves his daughter and sad and hurt and been cut out of her life for no reason. He has never met his 2 grandchildren, Archie and Lily, and he had a life-altering stroke, and the girl couldn't even pick up the phone and say, Daddy, are you okay? Nothing. That's a cold person. I don't know how someone can do that to a loved one. Now, we don't know the full story. We only hear the bits and pieces. But from the gist of what we know, he got cut off for some fake PR publicity photographs that he took around the time of her wedding to improve his image. So you know Meghan, the PR princess of fake paparazzi photos herself, who has Batgrid on speed dial, who always sets up these pap shots. You best believe there's going to be a whole bunch of pap shots the weekend of the coronation, and Archie's birthday photos will be leaked to Batgrid and people, I'm sure. Cuts her father off because he was trying to improve his image to not embarrass his daughter. He didn't ask her to marry a prince. He didn't ask to be put in the public. She says to him, Daddy, I met a prince. What's he supposed to do? He was living in Mexico. He's been down on his luck for a few years. That's not a crime. But Meghan was embarrassed. In my opinion, she was embarrassed of the paparazzi photos of him walking around Mexico with beer and cigarettes. Even Harry talked about it in his book. Oh, Thomas Markle walking around with his stomach hanging out of his shirt. Harry, have you seen yourself lately, son? You don't exactly look like Brad Pitt yourself. but he was literally talking about the appearance of Thomas Markle in his book Spare. So clearly they were embarrassed about the image of the future Duchess's white trash daddy all over the tabloids. So she got to get rid of that. He can't walk me down the aisle. So in my opinion, this whole docuseries was for them to have their say. And they did. They shared what they wanted to share. And I know a lot of people wanted some dirt. Where's the dirt? Where's the gossip? Where's the tea? This is a nothing burger. But I will say this about the Markles. They have class and they have loyalty. Because in my opinion, they could annihilate Meghan. They have a lot of dirt on Meghan, but they didn't share it, did they? No, they didn't. They could have, but they didn't. Why? Because they still love her. They still have loyalty to Meghan, or at least the old memory of the Meghan they used to know. You can tell Thomas Markle, he doesn't want to hurt his daughter. As a matter of fact, he wants to make up with his daughter. So this was not a salacious tell-all to slam Meghan. In my opinion, it was a public plea from a broken father to say, how can I fix this before I die? How can I fix this before I die? And unfortunately, I don't think you can. I don't think Meghan is ever going to see her dad again. I really don't. Not unless the William Morris Endeavor Agency gets her to make up with her daddy for public appearances. Because we all know a lot of people in the public do not think very highly of Meghan Markle for the treatment of her family, especially her father. A lot of people look down on her for that because she preaches kindness and forgiveness. And I'm out here doing the Lord's work 1 hour a week, but I'm not going to forgive my dad. Nope, not going to happen. That's like, whoa, okay, cold, right? I mean, seriously, that's a cold fish. So in my opinion, that PR company, you better do some work on a reconciliation with her dad, because I don't care what you do. Put lipstick on a pig, sweetheart, still pig. Okay, we still know what she did to her dad. That's not going away. And this documentary that the Markles did was genius because it's reminding people of what she did and who she is and where she came from and how she acts. So I like the fact that they let people know we're still here. We're not going away. Just because you want to throw us away doesn't mean we're going to be thrown away. We're still here. And one of my favorite lines that Thomas Markle said was, I refuse to be buried by her. I'm still here, but she acts like I'm dead. And she does. That's the most shocking thing about Harry and Meghan, is that during the docuseries, she's like, well, I lost my dad. I lost my dad in this. I'm like, the man didn't die. You didn't lose him, sweetheart. You dumped him. That's a big difference. Okay? And the fact that Harry, who lost his mother at a young age, would just let his wife cut ties with her father for no reason. Or not a good reason. It's like, wow. You would think that he would be like, losing a parent is such a painful thing. Make amends with your father. But he doesn't. Instead, he literally says he was walking around, with the paparazzi photos, buying beer and cigarettes with his stomach hanging out. Like, what an ass. Literally, what an ass, right? To say that in your book about your father-in-law, whom you've never met, by the way. The other thing he talks about is the infamous letter where the Queen thought it would be a good idea for Meghan Markle to make up with her father and write that letter, which we all know Meghan wrote for public consumption, and he said it was very cruel, it was very vicious. He did not include all the details of the letter, but he still has it, and he has not shared it. Again, he has more class and loyalty than Meghan Markle or Prince Harry will ever have. He has not shared the contents of all of the letter, and he also said that when Meghan wrote him the letter, she never gave him a return address, meaning she never wanted him to write her back. That was not a reconciliation. That was a kiss-off letter. That was read the letter and go and die. Bye-bye. We're done here. We're done. She literally kissed him off. That letter was just for show so everyone can see what a sweet and caring person she is. And of course, to show off her calligraphy skills. Look at my nice writing. Aren't I sweet? That's what that was for. She was appeasing the queen, saying, okay, old lady, I'll play your game. I'll pretend to be nice. I'll write the letter. We'll go to my attorneys. We'll go through a team of 6 people, and we'll say, dear daddy, to pull on the heartstrings. And then I'm going to write my beautiful letter in my beautiful calligraphy. And then we're going to send him a letter with no return address, and we're going to call it a day. Done. She never had an intention of ever making up with her dad. That letter was for public consumption to make herself the victim, because everything is about Meghan being a victim. So again, in my opinion, I'm glad I watched it. I gave it some ratings. I hope they got paid for it. Good for them. Good for the Markles. So I know a lot of people are being very harsh toward the Markles. They're a family. They're a broken family. They've been dragged through the mud. But just remember, none of them asked for this. Meghan married one of the most famous men in the world, and she dumped them and did not protect them like she did her mom, Doria. They got no help, nothing. They got cut off, and they received death threats, okay? This woman has abandoned the family that was there for her her entire life. Her father, who put her through private school, paid for her college, who set her up for her future. She has no respect or loyalty for the man, and it's very, very sad. So I am glad they got to say their piece. That is my opinion of it. So I know people are mad that they didn't, annihilate Meghan and drop secrets, but I'm glad that they didn't, because it proves the point. They're not gold diggers like people say they are. They're not selling out their family for money like Meghan and Harry. They're literally just sharing their side of the story. And unfortunately, a very sad public plea from a father who wants to make up with his daughter, but I think we all know she's buried that man already. She's already had his funeral, and it's over. So if you have a chance, go watch it, but you're not going to walk away with any salacious details. But I didn't think it was bad. We didn't learn anything new, but I do have respect for the Markle family. I feel bad for them, and I wish them nothing but the best. Okay, guys, we've come to the part to find the answer to today's royal coronation trivia. Which monarch wore white at his coronation? It was said to be unlucky. Was it Stephen, Henry VI, Charles I, or Harold II? Drum roll, please. And the answer is Charles I, because he was a very unlucky monarch. If you don't know, he was executed in 1649. So I would say he was a pretty unlucky king. Well, that's all the royal news that I have for you guys today. Leave me your comments down below. As always, I appreciate each and every one of you, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye, guys.